Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the Shamonk. So today I wanted to talk about when I go for a rock hunt. To me, it's more so of like a spiritual experience because when I first started, I didn't know really where to go, but I knew that the railroad tracks would have a lot of rocks. So as I searched, I found a lot of quartz and a lot of different types of rocks. And one of these ended up being unakite. And when I learned more about unakite and its metaphysical properties, I understood that it was a very powerful stone and that I was finding it in abundant amounts in different areas around Dallas, which right now I'm in Kaufman. But if you follow the tracks all the way through, they usually have like the same thing, but they're scattered about. So you never really know what you're going to find on the tracks. You know what I mean? You just have to take a chance. And that's what I did today. And I wasn't here, but only about 5 minutes. I went to the store to go pick up some things, running an errand, and something just told me, hey, just go check it out. And I did, and right when I popped this one out of the ground, that's a purple fluorite. And I was really like, wow, because honestly, I did another hunt some months back around the same track, but like a couple miles down the opposite way, and I found a ton of this stuff. And so something, told me to just go back and see. And, every now and then I'll find a clump of something. But I have some other pictures I want to show you guys of some other fluorite that I found along the same track further down. And it actually has like a pyrite cube sticking out of it, which is really beautiful. It was crazy. And the G, yeah, my name is Gino. So to me, that was another sign. And that's what I look for, is signs and the gut instinct. And that's what I follow. So right now we're back at the house, and I'm gonna wash these off and give you a better visual of what they look like. And I like to do this because it shows me the potential of what they would look like after I do decide to start polishing it, or if I'm just gonna leave it as a whole piece, because a lot of collectors like to collect their pieces and just leave them as is. And then some of them like to take it to the saw, and then others will facet and shape and do whatever, just to enhance the beauty. But me, I like them whenever I find them in their natural state, because the beauty that they have. But sometimes they do need a little bit of polish, or something to really get the iron stains out. And I don't want to be too harsh on them, because when you use the chemicals, it really takes some of the mineral out of it, but then it does enhance the beauty. But you got to remember, when you're taking that out of the ground, whatever's attached to the stone is part of that mineral, whether it's the dirt or whether it's the iron or whatever is attached to it. I mean, that is part of that stone. So I don't like to do that too much. But every now and then, when there's a worthy piece and I know that it does need enhancing, and there's some really good bands, or there's something in there to see, I will go as far, to do some iron out, or just take it to the saw on one side and then polish that one side and then leave the rest just looking normal. So that's how I approach that. But what I'm really kind of doing here is just looking at the unakite, just kind of admiring it and seeing what I might want to do with it. So I'm really not sure at this moment, but I know that they're worthy pieces. So that's that. And now I'm on one of my little back roads through my neighborhood, and I'll drive through here, and as you can see, kind of there you go, right in front of you is like the pool, and then there goes the water tower and all that, just kind of letting you know where I'm at. And later on in the video, we'll circle back around and I'll point those little landmarks out to let you know that I haven't strayed far at all. So as I'm turning down these streets, this street that I passed up right now is called Slate, and then the next one's going to be called Druzy. And to me, that was kind of like, okay, the street names have crystals. You know what I mean? So that's pretty wild. I thought that was another significant sync, to me, as I'm actually going rockhounding right now, and I'm looking at the spiritual side of it, you know what I mean? Because it's actually like speaking to me, you know what I mean? When you open yourself up to those kind of things, You can see that the energies that you're working with are actually working with you, and they're giving you signs. You just have to open your eyes up and look at them as signs. They're not just things. This is the reality we live in, and you're making it while you're doing it. So I took that back road and I ended up over here on this little main road, and what we call the wayside in shamanism is just pretty much just like the side of the road. And that's what happened. As I was driving, they said just pull over, and I did. And one of the first things I find was this sandstone with the fossils in it. And here in Texas, that is something that's pretty common. You can find it in a few areas, but you would really have to be looking around. It's not just like laying everywhere, but whenever you are on a hunt, don't be surprised if you do stumble across some pieces like this, because it's pretty common here in Texas. It used to be an ocean a long time ago, you know what I mean? And some people really don't know that. Okay, so what I did now was I took that road back around and I entered back into the neighborhood, and as you can see, the water tower's right there, and here's where the undeveloped houses are and what they're planning on doing. Sorry, I got the camera sideways. There you go. So yeah, I'm starting to walk, just showing you where I'm at, and something just said, go ahead and take that walk down that little path right there. I already noticed there was a truck tire tracks going through there, but I know back here there's got to be something, and just so happened I'm finding wood, and to me that's another significant sign. So I dropped that one in the bucket, and that's the one of the first ones for that day, including what I found earlier. But I kind of separate those, whatever I find on the track and what I find out in the open field or wherever I'm looking. I try to keep those things separate. And yeah, there's another one. I got to dig for it a little bit, and I'll get the notion that I won't find as much as I want to find, but I always do find something, whether it's scattered about, or one rock is like so many yards away from the other one. I have found like full deposits of plenty things, but these rocks are like here and there, so I'm like trekking it. I'm constantly walking here and there and going back and forth and checking under this thing and checking under that thing and going through the brush. And at times I feel like I might not find anything, but when I start to get a little discouraged, I start to think, and I don't mean like think in my head, I mean I start to thank Gaia, I start to thank, the earth for, providing all the things that we needed, and everything that we do have, and I'm so grateful. And all of a sudden, the ground turns from that dark black or brown to this light clay-looking sand stuff, and no doubt this is where all the stuff pops up for me out here in Kaufman. When the ground is this color, this is when I know I've hit my mark, because I'll find quartz, that's a quartz right there. It's rather pink. I know when I tumble that, and I'll show you in a later video, that thing is going to come out looking really beautiful, I promise. And then wood is in the same area. And then check this one out. That's another piece of wood. So, I start to get like this joyous feeling, and I know that like, okay, well, yeah, this is it. I was definitely led here, and to me that is a beautiful thing, because it's exactly what I was looking for. I took a chance and I went out to an area that I've never been before, and I had a feeling I was going to find something. And all of a sudden I just start finding all this stuff. And yeah, they're already, pretty much tumbled for me. Yeah, you see somebody's been out there shooting shotgun shells and stuff. Black jasper. So to me, it's more of, like the journey and the things that we have to well, not have to, but we choose to go through. And I'll tell you about another experience that I had being out here. One time was I found like 60 to 100 pounds of calcite, and as you just saw me pick that piece of calcite up, that is a reminder for me that it is still out here somewhere. I just have to find it. I have to open myself up and let myself be guided, and then it'll take me right to it every time. And I don't take every stone that I see, but the ones that are tumble worthy, and I know that after I put them through those 2 stages, they're gonna look totally different than what I picked up. So that's why I like to just get out here and just do it, because I know that it's out here. And yeah, I'm not in the most common place where people would think to look, but you never know. You just have to really take a chance sometimes. And right here is where it all began for me. Before all this grass started coming through, it didn't look like this. And they have a dog park back there. I know you really can't see it, but all these, those drainage areas, this used to be full of so much calcite, and I got it all in my garage, right next to all the petrified wood that I showed you in an earlier video. And to me, it was like remarkable, and beautiful that it's still here and I can still go out there and I can find it. So I was really excited about that, and I really wanted to capture some of it in a video so that I could show you guys that, yeah, crystals are all around, and you can find them if you just take, like a couple hours just to go out and just to give it a shot, just to see if you do find anything, because you never know. And then you'll be surprised at what you do find. I'm still finding jaspers, everywhere, and I have a whole load that I've already tumbled, and then I have some that I haven't done anything with. And my whole deal here is to really polish everything up and shine it up, or keep things raw and rough, and to share it. You know what I mean? I don't really look at myself too much as like a business person, but at the same time, I am into, entrepreneur and, types of things like that. And, I do want to own a business, and I do want to provide people with this kind of stuff, the ones that are interested in these kind of things. I want to be able to do that, just from here, from where I'm at, because you can get all kinds of rocks from everywhere, from Michigan, or you can go to Arkansas, you can go to South Carolina, like I talked about, and other places. But whenever you talk about in Texas, like, it's really hard for us to find like a good deposit unless you know somebody with some land, or you've really been there, or just where to look. I gotta remind you, I've only been doing this for like 2.5, almost 3 years, and as many crystals as I've found, like just on my own, with my own knowledge, without really looking at all these videos and where people hunt at, I was really surprised, because I would have dreams at night that I would be finding stuff. And no doubt, a few days after I had that dream and I went out for a hunt, I found so much stuff. And that really kind of, brought the fuzz all over my body, and I got warm, and that's when I knew that I was doing the work that I really wanted to do. This is really making me happy. And that's what I look at, is, do what makes you happy. It doesn't mean up and quit your job, or, stop whatever it is you're doing now and only aim for what makes you happy. But there are things in life that, will take away the daunting feeling, or, put you in a state of bliss, or, more relaxed than usual. And for me, this is like therapeutic. It's more grounding than anything, because I'm actually connecting with Earth. I'm out there with Spirit. He's talking to me. The wind is blowing. I'm taking a minute. I close my eyes. I breathe. And when I open my eyes, things are revealed. And it's all part of the journey and the experience. That's what makes this. I started to wonder why I love rockhounding. And to me, it's the journey. To me, it's the experience that you have. Because I know who I was before, I would have never considered doing anything like this. You know, and I probably would have looked at it like I wouldn't know how to do that. But you know, it's really funny because just my background and where I come from is not it's not anything close to this. You know, I mean, I used to rap, I used to skateboard and drum and do a ton of other things. And not saying that any of those weren't really part of my spiritual path, but it hasn't. It's nothing like this. You know what I mean? This is a totally different view. You know, and it's so beautiful. So what I carry with me, you know, when I go hunting are different crystals that I love to take, and this right here is my shaman stone. It's a lodolite. It has a little phantom in there, and you can see through it. And my wife got me this as a gift, and when I first saw it, I felt like I had found a brother or something, because it's like we have a good connection together. And this right here, I really believe it's a piece of petrified wood. It has druzy all over it, but it could be fossilized coral or something like that. But I'm kind of leaning more towards petrified wood. And even though it looks kind of funky, I have had this relationship and connection with Methuselah. And you know, Methuselah, you know, back in the day was like one of the oldest beings to live, which came out to be 969, you know, so he is very old. And you know, he's related to trees because of the Methuselah tree in California. That's one of the oldest trees. Yeah, I think I've been talking long enough. I really want to thank you guys for stopping by the channel, and we're going to get more into this, and I'm going to show you how the Shamonk does it. Thanks for journeying with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Be blessed.